This is the foldable 8.6, and it's the law of cosine, the second part of this section. So what we're looking at is that this is the law of cosine, and to calculate A when given B and C and an angle A. So you're given this angle, and what you're looking for is the side opposite. So we start by substituting in the value. Since I'm looking for the side opposite, that's my A squared. B can either be 9 or 10 because they're interchangeable and we're just adding those two numbers together. But for the purpose of understanding which is the side opposite, it'll be 10. So B is the opposite of angle B. So that's 10 squared plus C then would be 9 because that's the side opposite of the angle C. 9 squared minus 2. B, remember, was 10, C is 9, and then we write cosine of angle A, which they give us as 41. From here, you can just put all of that in the calculator. 10 squared plus 9 squared minus 2, open parentheses, 10 times 9 cosine of 41, close those parentheses, and you get 45.15. 45.15, and then you have to find the square root of both sides. A is approximately, so you find the approximate value of 45.15, which gives you 6.72. So since this part is pretty much putting in the calculator, all I'm going to show you is how to set it up. Okay, once they give you the angle, you're going to look at the side opposite. And that is the one that's on the other side of that equation. So that's x squared is equal to, and remember the order of these doesn't really matter. So you could put 9 squared plus 7 squared. Minus 2 is part of the formula times B, which we selected as 9, and then 7 cosine of the angle given, 85. And you can put all of that in the calculator. 9 squared plus 7 squared minus 2 times 9 times 7 cosine of 85. And you get x squared is equal to 119.02. Then you do the square root of both sides. X is approximately. It actually has an approximately right there, but I'm just going to do it at the end. And the square root of 119.02, the 10.91. All right. This one right here, remember what you're looking for is that side opposite of the angle given. So that means this would be x squared is equal to, the order of these two doesn't really matter, so you could put 12 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 12 times 8 at cosine of 65. Put it in your calculator. Make sure that you do the square root of both sides to solve for x and get the approximate value. All right, so the next little section, we have calculate an angle. To calculate an angle A when given A, B, and C, and we can use the law of cosine. They're really supposed to be used when you don't have a right angle, but they can always be used. You still get the correct measure. So remember how to set it up is that this angle opposite to this side is what matters because this one's the one that's on the other side of that equation. So we have 3 squared is equal to, remember also the order of these numbers doesn't matter, but we're going to go ahead and call this B squared plus C, which will not be the 4 squared minus 2 times 6 times 4 cosine of A. And then since we're looking for angle A and they call it X, we're going to call this angle X as well. from here, we do need to do some algebra instead of trying to put it in the calculator because this is on there. So this is 9 is equal to 36 plus 16 minus, and then 2 times 6 times 4 is 48 cosine of x. And these two numbers are being added together, so 9 is equal to 36 times plus 16, 36 plus 16 is 52 minus 48 cosine of x. So then we subtract the 52 from both sides. 9 minus 52 is a negative 43, and that's equal to a negative 48 cosine of x. Since that cosine is being multiplied by the negative 48, how we get rid of it is dividing by negative 48 to both sides. Since I'm looking for an angle, what I'm going to put in the calculator is the inverse of cosine, so cosine inverse. And then I'm going to put this on here because I don't need to simplify it until I get the value approximation. So just like this, and that gives you the approximate value of that angle. So inverse cosine of negative 43 divided by negative 48, close those parentheses, 26.38 is the approximate value of the angle that we're looking for. Okay, since this takes a little bit more algebra, we're going to go ahead and do it together. We have this angle, and what we're got to set up is that 6 is the side opposite. So 6 squared is equal to 4 squared plus 3 squared. Remember, the order of these two doesn't matter. Minus 2 times 4 times 3 cosine of x. 36 is equal to 16 plus 9 minus, and then 2 times 3 times 4. It's 24 cosine of x. Add these two together. 36 is equal to 25 minus 24 cosine of x. Then we subtract 25 from both sides. 36 minus 24 is 11, is equal to negative 24 cosine of x. Now we're going to divide by negative 24 to both sides. That means that we have to do the inverse of the cosine inverse of 11 divided by negative 24. Second inverse of 11 divided by negative 24. And you have approximately 117.28 as the value of the angle.